All right, so we've lost the support on SPY. We're sitting on puts. Hopefully we get some momentum to the downside now that we've breached this, right? So it got tested once, it got tested twice, 3 times, 4th time, and now we've broken that support. We see if we can flush to the downside with some momentum. Volume picked up here right before this candle here. So we did 1.2 million the last 15 minutes, and we're at 374,000 so far, 5 minutes into the candle. And then we're watching Boeing also lose its support here. Came up here, retested, it's losing the support, and we see if we can get Apple to lose its support as well. There it is. There's your SPY. Starting to get some power to the downside. There it is. There's your flush, guys. All right, we're right at the 200-day EMA line. I mean, the 200-day moving average. All right, so we got that first little bounce here. Starting to see Boeing lose the support here. See if Boeing can get below the 5-day EMA line as well on the on this chart. So nice bounce on SPY off the 200-day moving average. This is this is an SMA line. The other 3 are EMA lines. These are EMA lines. 5, 9, and 21, or 5, 8. I think it's 8. Yeah, 5, 8, and 21 days on the EMA, and then this is the SMA on the 200-day. It's incredible, right? How it just came up to that level and just literally just bounced. Just want to put a symbol there. What it did. All right, so we're seeing a nice little bounce off the 200-day moving average for SPY. See if we get a full reversal there, or it's just a bounce and we're gonna flush harder. Could have just averaged down, averaged into your SPY puts at this bounce here if you wanted to. Boom on Tesla, guys. Wow, Tesla, man, about to breach 200. Looking incredibly strong. About to hit the top side of the range, right? When we set this weekly range on Sunday night, we're about to hit that range. There it is. Beautiful. Beautiful on Tesla, guys. If you guys were on Tesla this morning, congratulations. You've made some money. Wow, what a move. What a move. $7.85 on Tesla. Wow, wonder how much higher Tesla's going to go, man. That's up 4.2%. 420. It's up 420. All right, and then SPY's continuing to it's gonna come and retest this SMA 200-day SMA line on the 15-minute chart. See what it does on this level. Same thing with Boeing. Boeing is starting to gonna retest all these EMA lines. All these EMA lines have converged on the same level. We need to have these lines start to open up either to the downside or to the upside. But we want to the downside, but it's pretty much been trading sideways, right? Look at all the EMA lines are all just together. So we need some separation there. It's indicative of what it's going through right now with the news and all the bad publicity it's getting. So, you know, it's an old company, usually a pretty reliable company, but it's that season for them right now. It's the season of you know, just trying to what they call it, damage control for them right now. It's all about damage control for them. And look at the SPY, man. Came all the way down. Now it's right back up to that support line. Incredible, man. What we thought was going to be a flush. I mean, it still might flush, right? Watching volume here. Some red candles back to back, but nothing but lower lows for the last 2 hours. So 2.5 hours almost. So we'll continue to watch that, see what it does. See if this was it. Maybe that was it. We took a really out of the money put, well, 505 put on SPY. It was $15 and we took it. I mean, we're making some progress there. We're down 450 on that contract right now. It's just a it's just a play um, to see if we can catch some downside moves on SPY today. I mean, I think overall, I don't want to put a bias in your head, but overall the market seems a little toppy. So stocks like Tesla, for example, that didn't do well during the run up, right? Like Tesla was selling off during the runoff. Companies like Adobe selling off during the runoff. So those stocks have been beat up and battered. And now that the stock market is healthy, even with a healthy pullback, these stocks are oversold in my opinion. So if the market continues to power higher, there might be a lot more room for those stocks to move higher because they've been beat up so much. Sort of like Tesla, right? I mean, if we look at Tesla, we look at the daily chart on Tesla. I mean, this stock has been on nothing but a downward move for what was the top here? It was June 29th, 2023. All right. I mean, we're approaching a year, right? I know it's barely the end of February, but that's the last time that stock was up that high. So it's been nothing but beat up during what would be considered a run up on NASDAQ, right? But yeah, you just can't keep a good stock down, regardless of how you might feel about Tesla and Elon Musk. It's still a pretty spectacular company with a lot of technology. It's been a pioneer in the industry, and it gets nothing but grief for it. Meanwhile, you have the companies in China trying to sell you a $200,000 electric car to compete with companies like Ferrari. So that's how you're looking at it now. If you look at it a little bit more closer, so it's been nothing but selling off. Check that. These are the daily candles, guys. Daily candles. Nothing but a sell-off, right? You gap down after earnings, and now it's starting to fill that gap, that earnings gap. That's what it's trying to attempt to do. So I'm a big supporter of Tesla, Elon Musk, and I want to continue to hold that stock for as long as I can. I don't think a little bit more like a Bitcoin approach with Tesla, like have gold diamond hands with it. Boom, Bitcoin has broken the downward resistance line and it's now trading at 52,801. It's almost at that 53,000 mark. Bitcoin looks strong, man. Looks really strong. Oh, there's your SPY on flush, guys. Retesting that 200-day moving average. See if we get that flush that we want. We breach this line, we should have a lot more momentum. At the very least, to try to revisit the pre-market low. That's where we're going. We're heading towards that pre-market low right now. My trading day has been a good one because I just been trying to practice discipline, right, and not get in and out of stocks. Been watching SPY, and I've been sitting in SPY since taking the trade this morning. Same thing with Boeing and Apple. So patience is probably the least practiced discipline in traders, in my opinion. We get very emotional. We think we're going to make a whole lot of money really quick, and we jump into trades, and we fail to go off that checklist that I usually talk about. Like a pilot, they go through a checklist. Even when they're even in an emergency, they have a checklist. So why not you as a trader? Okay, so while watching SPY break that 200-day SMA line on the 50-minute chart, and we're going to see how it reacts when it gets down to the pre-market levels, pre-market lows. And this red bar here is the previous day low. So there's a lot of strength here. So this is Friday's bounce area. So we're about to hit that level here in a few minutes here and see what happens. Boeing is losing support here. Apple is also losing support. Nice bounce. Nice jams too. All right, watching Boeing here test the EMA lines. All of them, they're all converged in the same area. We need these lines to separate. All right, we're losing support here on SPY. 200 EMA line is not going to hold. It's not holding yet. Pretty interesting. All right, so there's Boeing too. Look like a fat candle to the downside. All right, that's your next 15-minute candles. All right, guys. All right. Yo, thanks for hanging out with Shimano Trader. I am Shimano Trader. This is The Spread. We're our live trading show Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. Pacific time. Thank you for joining us today. Do not forget, we do have a contest going on. We're giving away a book. You can go to at Shimano Trader on Instagram. Find our post with the book. The book is called The Biggest Loser by Tom Hoggart. Check it out. See if you want to participate in that drawing. We're going to be doing a live drawing March 15 on the air and giving away that book. That book has been very helpful to me, and I hope it'll be helpful to you. And thank you again for joining us today and hanging out at The Spread. All right, there's your flush, guys. Pretty interesting. And I've been watching the flow lately, too. I don't know if you guys go to Unusual Wells. My Bitcoin's breaking out, man. Unusual Wells, there's a lot of put action, a lot of put traffic on the option flow. That's free subscription. You guys can get that subscription for free. But Bitcoin pumping is great. So we've lost the support here on the EMA line. Let's see what it's going to do now. We're still down 350 on that contract. We're so far out of the money. We're 250 out of the money. A little bounce here. Look, see, when we thought we lost the support, and look at that bounce. Yeah, man, looks like we're gonna be heading down. I'm really curious to see what happens when we hit this red level, this pre-market level, and previous day low as well, and see if we can hold there. If we can't hold there, we should see more downside. I'd like to see Boeing here kind of start to change trends a little bit. All right, let's look around the market here. AMD's up 0.19%. ADI is down 0.26. ART continues to power higher. ART looks really good. It looks really good. It looks like it bottomed out. It's above the expected range for the week. It looks like it's heading higher. And then Piton has reversed. It got as high as 453, and it's down to 440 now. So don't know what's going on there. Lyft, it's continuing to move a little bit higher. Hood is powering higher as well, and Russell looks like it's retested the gap fill, and it's going to most likely use that as support here. If anything, if it doesn't continue higher, I anticipate it to just kind of go sideways right above that gap fill, and then continue to watch our place here. We're watching Apple lose this support level here. That's pretty interesting to me, and see what let's see if SPY is forming a little an immature bear flag here and continue to flush down to the downside. We don't need much there. It's a $15 play. It's still down what's down? It's down $3.50 on a $2 on a $15 play. Not the end of the world. But the rule is always not to lose money. So don't take losses like this easy. You shouldn't want to lose money. Here's your Apple. So I think we're up 50 cents on our Apple put play. It's a Friday play for 180 put. So it's not going to give us a lot of money today. But if it can continue to push lower, especially heading into PCE on Thursday, we might be able to collect some premium there as well. No, collect a profit. We're not selling calls. We're not selling options. Yo, what's up with this song though, man? That's not the kind of song. There you go. Sorry, guys. I can't deal with that slow jam music right now. I need some beats and some head bangers. All right, so here's SPY. Watching the SPY react. It did do a little bit of a lower low, right? So that looks bearish to me. Apple appears to be gaining some momentum to the downside, and so is Boeing. So We got a long way to go on Boeing. We're trying to get to 195 by the end of the week. But that stock moves a lot, especially on news. So we feel good about that. And obviously on SPY, we're in a lotto play here for 505. But, man, we're getting pretty close. So we'll see how that reacts there and for the rest of the day. All right. And then Tesla's looking really nice. I'm really happy with Tesla here. Tesla's one of our long-term portfolio holdings. We've been taking a ass beating on the way down, but we've also been accumulating shares. So our average should have gone down. All right, there's your Apple starting to break that support. So that's within $1 of the being in the money on the options. And there's a SPY continuing to lose support off the 200-day SMA line. I'm not sure how the overall market's doing. Let's see what the overall market is doing. All right, so overall market's trending down. So all the indices were up a lot more in the morning, and they've come back down. So just like SPY, obviously. And there's a little bit of a pop on Tesla, meaning like a blow off top, right? Like these little wicks here, they're always a little concerning. All right, SPY. The moment of truth with SPY, right? We had one here at the upward support line. Now we are going to test this pre-market low and previous day low. We want to see how it acts at that level. There we go. Sounds much better. All right, guys, pretty interesting time here. Looks like the market is completely reversed. All indices have completely reversed. We opened up pretty strong, and we're starting to either level out or start to change trends here. Man, look at SPY, man. SPY's really starting to, it's really starting to get steep on this drop. That $15 play may pay us today. That'd be great. Everything, all our plays are working right now. All right, pre-market low, previous day low, we're there. Look at that flush. Look at the volume. What happens if we breach this level? We shall see. Break through that level.
Do it.
Break through that level.
Do it.
We'll see. All right, there's Apple. So Apple is now breached that pre-market low level, and we're below it now. Why is it so small? There it goes. All right, guys. So we're watching all our puts play out today. Puts are well. We're watching that on the flow as well. The flow was confirming our bias. All right, so Apple's heading lower there. Boeing too, kind of really testing here this level. Oh, there's sure Apple, man. It's going to gain some momentum to the downside now. That should drag down the SPY. And we might make some lunch money today. SPY has just given up all the gains for today. Hasn't really lost, right? I mean, it's only down 76 cents. So it's got a lot of room to the downside. All right, so we're retesting this previous day low, pre-market lows. See if we can get below that. If we can get below one of those, we might see a trend develop to the downside, which will give us an opportunity to get out of our SPY puts in profit. But nothing's a gimme, man. Nothing's ever as simple in the market. It really is about see if we can time that correctly. because you're seeing to see that bounce. But the bounces don't scare us because it's been bouncing all morning. It's just been bouncing all morning. So there are opportunities to get back into put positions or add to your put positions on those jumps. And then Tesla looks like it's leveling out, maybe even forming a premature bull flag. Starting to watch Boeing here breach these EMA lines here. Maybe I can pick a direction and stick to it. Hopefully to the downside. All right, you can stay patient here. 810 on the West Coast. We had our VIX in a channel and it fell out of that channel. So it might get back into that channel now that we're starting to see a little red in the market. ARK's powering higher. Piton looks like it's starting to get back to the top again. Hood powering through. Oh, the Russell's coming back into that gap fill. So that should be interesting. All right, so we had a little bit of a relief there. A little bit of relief. All right, continuing to watch the SPY retest the previous day low and the pre-market low. That's what that red bar and the red dash line represent. And when I do pre-market prep every morning, I usually set those levels, right? I set the previous day low and high, and then the pre-market high and low as well. And what that has done for me is it just helps me stay focused within a range, right? Like, okay, this is the range. Just like if you guys have been watching some of the videos that I've been releasing on the expected range for a stock based off the option chain, it kind of tells you what the anticipated move is going to be of a stock. We did it last week. We did a review on it this Sunday for previous Sunday, and we also charted out the new level. So it's pretty interesting to watch the price action within that range. And you know, all that pricing is set up based on contract purchasing, right? So when people buy option contracts for the week, or you know they just have contracts open, you know, puts and calls, and obviously the market makers know these positions because these are actual purchases and these are contracts. That's what I'm watching on the option flow. So they can determine based on that activity more or less what the expected range is going to be of a stock. So that helps you set levels within that range and trade within that range. It just helps clean up charts for you. I don't know if that makes sense. It helps you kind of see a level and stay within a level and not be thinking that it's going to go this high, it's going to go this low. You just kind of want to trade it within that range for the week. And I think it gives you a little bit of an advantage, and definitely continuing to work on that strategy and refining it and putting some triggers in place that help you execute on those trades based on what the price action is in those levels will give you an edge, right? And as traders, that's what we want. We want an edge. What is giving us an edge in the market? What does this guy know that I don't know? How is he getting his information? How does he know he was going to do that? Like, there's this guy named Grizzly Trader, I think his name is. He's with this team called Team Bull. They're a bunch of nice guys, man. Don't get me wrong. They're really nice. They do some really nice things. They record some really nice things. There's a couple of them. But they'll charge you $200 a month to be part of their club, right? $200 a month to be part of their club. So if you want to be part of that club, you got to cough up $200 a month. Now, $200 a month, if you're a trader and you're profitable, it doesn't seem like a lot of money, but not for the average trader. The average trader's not going to make that kind of money, and he's just going to be spending money watching other guys trade. And if you don't know what the hell you're doing, these guys are like, they're in and out of trades, and you're like, what? What? Are you still in? There's people asking, are you still in there? Are you still in there? You don't know when calls get played out. I mean, when calls get called out. Sometimes it gets lost in the chat room. So it's not as like, oh, I just pay $200 a month and I place winning trades. It's not that simple, right? That's what my message to you guys is with all these organizations. Is that it's not as simple as just joining a club and making money. It just doesn't work that way. So I'm more of a leader and not a follower. And so I have a hard time following people, especially if I'm not getting what I want out of it. So I tend to just veer off and go off on my own and just try to learn it on my own. And that's what I've been doing the last couple of years, just watching videos. I'll join a club for a couple months and I'll get out and see if I, learn something. It's like paying for a mentor, right? That's exactly what that was. So, for a couple months, I think I had a special bonus or something, special discount code. So I was paying like $125 a month, and I think I did it for like 3 months. And then I quickly learned that, obviously what I'm trying to prevent you from doing now, which is it's not as easy as just joining some club, some Discord, some chat room, and you're going to pay a certain amount every month to get calls thrown at you or plays thrown at you. I mean, that's not teaching you how to fish. That's fishing for you. So you need to learn how to fish, period. And then that skill can never be taken away from you, right? You develop the skill. You build the calluses that come with trading. And you learn to be a better trader because you're forced to, right? Or either you're forced to be a better trader or you're going to quit. One of the two things are going to happen. And more often than not, traders quit. And it's not because they're quitters. It's just because it just becomes really expensive. Like when you're losing hundreds of dollars every month, every year, thousands of dollars a year, when you're supposed to be making that money, not losing it, obviously that discourages a lot of people and a lot of traders, and they just choose to do something different. And I don't blame them. People like to talk a lot about don't quit. You're, right before you quit, you're going to hit success. But nah, man. I mean, when you're losing a lot of money, especially if you need that money, right? So that's what we always talk about. If you can't afford to lose this money, you shouldn't be trading, period. So anyway, hope that helps. That was my little soapbox for you guys this morning. All right, 8:16 on the West Coast. It looks like SPY's got a major wick to the downhouse here. When you see this wick action here, that to me is normally a very a sign of a trend reversal for me. That is a trend reversal, in my opinion. When you have this big wick here that happens, that means a lot of buyers. It hit the look where it happened. It happened at the pre-market low and the previous day low. Where it hit that level, right? Let's look left. Look what happened here in the same morning, right? Bounce level, right? So what's not to say that's exactly what's going to happen this time around. Right. So, yeah. So let's watch it. Let's see how it's going to cost us $15 to watch that. So, we're going to see how it does. And then ultimately, right, we have our 5-day EMA line. So we're going to see how it reacts there. So what did it do here? Right. It came up. Right. And it kind of just never got completely. I mean, it got above it. Right. I mean, you probably would have got out around here. That would have been the right time, especially on this break here. That's probably when I would have gotten out. But yeah, it didn't. It's not like it really like popped to the upside. It just kind of recovered and continued to go sideways. So we'll see what it does today. Remember, past performance is not an indication of what it's going to do in the future, but you have references, and that's what I hope you're learning, that you have something to look back at or something to compare it to. And it's right there on the chart, so you can see what that stock did in that level and what kind of a reaction it had. So this is the work that's required to be a good trader. You have to spend the time, listening to people, watching things, testing things, and actually placing trades, right? So you can see what it really feels like. All right, guys, follow me on Instagram at Shimano Trader. I'll be right back. All right, traders, I'm back. All right, Tesla is officially breaking out. Tesla is officially breaking out. It is completely filled that gap where it was having trouble with, right? When we're talking about this gap here, it filled this gap. The highest 205 Oh, excuse me, traders. So yeah, this is completely different for Tesla in regards to how it's been acting and reacting. But check this baby out now, right? We've got some real upward momentum, some nice big candles, and yeah, we're about to be deep in that money on Tesla. That should be a great thing. At least the way it looks like right now, right? Getting all excited, but this is what happens to us as traders all the time, man. We just get super excited about something, and then we wake up in the morning and it's like clapped. But as of right now, Tesla is officially breaking out. That's incredible. Look at the volume on this. Look at this candle was 20 million shares. The first hour was what is that? No, the first hour was 14 million, and then it jumped to 20 million. Wow. Yeah, so that's really got some momentum to the upside on Tesla. So congrats if you're in Tesla calls or in Tesla positions. Long positions, congrats to you. Meanwhile, SPY, right? Like we were getting ready to see this big bounce now, and check it out now. It's completely giving it back up. It's formed the same candle formation as it did up here. You see this little here? Let me see if we can box them. Man, I love to be doing this. I love to be commenting on what's happening live in the market and sharing it with you guys. And if you guys have some comments, well, of course, feel free. But you see that same candle formation there? That's pretty cool. Yeah, seeing these candle formations. I mean, it's not a bullish candle formation. It wasn't here, right? It wasn't here, so doesn't mean it has to be there either. All right, we're watching Apple continue to go to the. Oh, it came back up to 181.05, and let's see what Boeing is going to do. And Tesla, good lord, let me look at my long term. Yeah, that's up 581.11. Jeez, that's great. Just putting it in my log here for the day. All right, so yeah, congrats, man. Tesla looks awesome today. Continuing to watch the SPY here now, just like we were talking about up here, right? Like if you know how it tested this line 1, 2, 3, 4, finally broke through, right? So now we're trying to see possibly a similar reaction on this level here. So we're gonna watch it come down, right? It's tested it once, right? So we're gonna see what it's going to do. Is it gonna come down and test it a second time, and a third time, and a fourth time? We shall see. All right. Does that sound low? That music sounds low, right? Oh, no, it's finishing. That's why. All right. You're starting to see the SPY now. We're coming back to that level, guys. You're going to see what happens at this level. Pre-market low, pre-market low, and previous day low. They're in the same spot. Apple has completely dumped now. Look at Apple here. It's approaching our price target of 180 on the put side. See if it can see what it does when it gets to there. It looks like it's going to get there today. 79 cents away. All right, here we go. It's a moment of truth here. See what's going to happen at this level. Here it is. Oh man, that's crazy. See what happens here. There's Apple dumping as well. Boeing. Why isn't Boeing dumping? That's the question. Oh man, looks like yeah, we're starting to see a little bit of reversal across the market, guys. So trade carefully. All right, we're hitting that support level here. That's my medicine. I had to take medicine. Ugh. Yuck. All right, we're getting some bounce action right here by SPY at this. So we've come down here twice now. That's 2 times. Way below the 5-day EMA line too. So we're gonna test this lower part of the range for the day, and if we breach this, we probably get some real momentum to the downside. I mean, I've been saying that. I feel like I've been saying that all morning. All right, 826 on the West Coast. Yeah, I'm really curious to see what it's going to do at this level, man. Like, it's already bounced pretty nicely here twice. We're going to see what it does here. Yeah, pretty bearish. Let me monitor the flow here. Bitcoin new high here, 53,751. Wow, yeah, that's the neck. This is hit a higher high on the daily. Flow chart. Flow option flow. It's just still seeing a lot of puts on the SPY. Still seeing a lot of puts on the SPY. I can't believe I'm still down 250 on those SPY puts. I mean, we just got them so far out of the money that if it gets anything close to that 505, man, we shall see that those premiums should pop. Because I got them for $15. I mean, that's what I got them for. I used to see a little bit of a jump here on Apple. See how you have to look left, right? Like look left. Like you see the line here, now look left. Look, it seems like it's gotten support. It's got support at that area, right? You can see it. That it's got support. If you look left, it looked like it's bounced in that area. Then the last major bounce came at that level. If you're looking at Apple, so you're seeing that the last major bounce level, right after the sell-off here, it bounced, hit 200-day SMA line, got rejected. Now we're right back at that level, right? This is an hour chart, so we're right back at that level. So, I mean, it should help you build a position depending on how you feel about those levels, right? So you could either say, wow, like, is it going to breach that level now because it went all the way up and it came back down, right? It jumped here, came up here. If we look left here, you can see that when you look left, you see that these are all levels of resistance for Apple. So it having to come down here, remember, this is an hourly chart, it making its way all the way back up to that same level and then just to get rejected again, and now it's down to the downside. I would assume, right, that it put in all this work just to get rejected again. I mean, it's probably disheartening, right? As a trader or as a stock, if the stock had emotions, like, oh my God, I got pushed all the way down to 180 and I made it all the way back up to 184, maybe 185, and it just rejected me again. So now you're back down to that level. So you're retesting that level of what support was. So you, based on what you know, right, you can build a position here saying, okay, man, well, I anticipate a bounce here too. It should bounce because it's been bouncing before, or it's going to do what we're seeing with the SPY here today, right? It's just weakening, it's just weakening, and it's just going to eventually break through. But that's a decision that you have to make based on your risk tolerance. All right, 8:29. 8:29. I should just give you guys the time on the halves, right? Like on the 4 hour and the half hour. I think that's what I'm gonna do moving forward. Just giving you guys, not giving you a 8:16, 8:13, 8:21. Just keep it on the halves. So next update will be because I'll be going off air. So okay, so pretty interesting on the SPY here, right? Like SPY's having there's a real battle of sellers and buyers happening right at this level, right? And it's a pretty wide level. We're at 507 to 50. I'm sorry. What's this? 507.73 to 507. It's like a 70-cent range here that it's continuing to battle it out. It's giving an opportunity for the EMA line to get down here as well. And look at this, right? It's bounced up to this level. Now we're going to see what it does here. So this is what I'm watching right now, and is what I'm going to continue to watch. And hopefully you guys get some confidence off the strategy, right? Of just watching the price action and then commenting on it, and doing a little bit of a live analysis on what we're seeing. So we're continuing to watch the SPY. We've been in SPY puts since early this morning. We took a SPY put up here of $15. And so our target price is Jesus. No, hold on. That ain't it. So our target price is here 505. It's a 0 DTE, not financial advice. You will lose money. But just to have fun with it. We'll see what it does today. I mean, we're down as much as now we're down 350 on it. So we'll see what decision we make here. Especially if it reclaims the 5-day EMA line. If it reclaims this line, we'll definitely most likely get out of it. But as of right now, we've been watching the SPY, right? We've been kind of highlighting some candle formations. Here's a candle formation. This one, we prematurely did the box because it looked like this before it closed. And now it looks like I think it's like a dragonfly. I think this is called a dragonfly. So it's retested the previous day, right? This is Friday's low. And it's also a pre-market low, right? That will set down here. Oh, geez. Oh, it's actually lower. It's down here. But this is a level of support here that we found and identified, and it's just been bouncing at that level. So we're going to continue to watch SPY here. It tried to shake us out of our puts up here, right? It kind of did the whole wicking action here, and it may do the same thing here again. But as of right now, we're staying bearish on SPY just because it's respecting the 5-day EMA line. Once it got below it, it hasn't gotten above it. So we're just going to monitor that and stay bearish until otherwise, right? So that's what we're trying to do here, is try to just whatever the charts are telling us is how we're going to respond. And then Apple, we're in $180 puts for Friday. So we're expecting, I'm expecting the market to either be at break even or be below what it ended last week, just based on just the stuff that I've been reading and the things that I've been watching. So it's not financial advice. So anyway, and we're also in Boeing puts for $195 as well. It's like $95 to take this put here. So we expect Boeing to continue to see more downside. And hopefully we get to our target price. If not, if we can make some money on the way down, we will. Boeing has been really good to us this year. It's been actually our best trade, being short on Boeing this year. Shout out to Sean, man, giving us props. Hey, man, we're all trying to do our thing, Sean. We're all trying to do our thing, man. Okay, so we're continuing to watch SPY here. Look at the SPY, right? So we've just been watching SPY all morning. Been watching the 5-day EMA line. That's one of my strategies that I like to use and I like to share. Is, once we break that EMA line, right? If it's above it, you're bullish. If it's below it, you're bearish. And that's just my strategy. It's not always 100% what strategy is. If you find one, let me know. But for the most part, it's respecting that downward trend with the EMA line. You can see that when it was above it, stayed above it. All right. So once it got above it, stays above it. Right. Once it gets below it, it kind of stays below it until it gets above it. There's usually better ranges for that, but this is just to give you a quick example of it. So as of right now, unless it breaks that, I'm going to remain with the more on the downside for SPY as we're watching that SPY. So this is a 15-minute chart on SPY, and it's what we try to scalp every day, is try to scalp the SPY. And then take longer positions, swing positions on our other place. Okay, so my positions. Boeing puts 197, I think it is. What do you say? 195 for the Friday, And then we have Apple 180 for Friday as well. So we're gonna stick with those positions for the next couple of days. You guys join me back on Wednesday. You'll be able to see what progress we've made on those, if any. But the stock of the day has been Tesla, no doubt, right? So Tesla, we've been analyzing this stock as well. Kind of, we're watching what it did last week. There's a gap here. There's a little gap that happened. What was that, February 16th or so? We had this gap down, and then at open, Tesla tested it. This was last week, so this is Tuesday. Tested it, just barely breached the gap there, and it just sold off, right? And then it respected this upward support line here. And what did it do? It came right back up to the gap, filled the gap, and got rejected again. And then it tried it again and didn't get through. Same thing all the way through, right? And then it just never got that high again. It just continued to push to the downside. And then this morning, right, we have, Tesla's up almost, it's 4.2%. It's up almost $8. So if you took calls at the entrance, at the open, man, you're up pretty big. But yeah, that's been the play of the day. I hold Tesla in my long-term portfolio. So, I like to day trade and do swing trades, but I always preach the long-term portfolio. So you guys make sure you are, adding shares to a long-term portfolio. And just, I think Josh trades from the trading fraternity is who taught us this, right? He says you got to have a long-term portfolio, and buy those stocks that get beat up, right? Like I think Lyft was one of them, and Walgreens was another target. So what we do in that portfolio is we just stick a bunch of stocks that've been beat up, right? Good names, not crappy names, but we find stocks that have been beat up, and then we just load up that portfolio and just watch it grow, right? And we try not to touch that portfolio for at least 10 years. At least that's the mentality you have to going into it, saying, hey, I'm going to buy this stock for my long-term portfolio, and I'm not going to touch it for 10 years. And don't touch it. Don't touch it for 10 years, right? So that is a good strategy to build long-term wealth, especially if you're being profitable in the market, day in and day out, or week in and week out, and you collect some of those profits and just dump them to a long-term portfolio, long-term holds. The money is in the patience always. Oh, look at that. Sean is with me on the SPY, man. SPY is definitely going lower. I hope we can hit our target. If we can get down to 505, man, Jesus Christ, we're gonna make some money. But we have so much more to go, man. There's so much more to go. But hey, it's only 8:37. We have a long. The day is long. We've only been open for 2 hours. The market's only been open for 2 hours. But I am encouraged by Sean's comment on SPY because I'm in puts. Just like lotto puts. Like when we were up here, I was like, I just wanted to take a cheap SPY put, and I happened to focus on 505. So we'll see if we even get down there. We don't need to get to 505. We just got to get close enough for the premium to spike, and then we can make some money on it. Right now, I'm down $4.50 on it. It cost me $15. I'm down $4.50 on that trade. But our Apple's in the money, and our Boeing has recovered. We're down almost half our premium on that, but it's actually, we took that at open, I think, or somewhere around here, and then we had a drawdown on the climb up. But yeah, other than that, guys, that's kind of where we're at. That's where we're sitting. I want to keep practicing and preaching patience as a trader, and try to get out of the mentality that we're going to make 10 grand this morning and then go fishing the rest of the day. Like, that's just not a reality for at least the kind of traders that I hang out with and I value and respect. Usually these traders are they position themselves well. They look at stuff like option flow. They look at the seasonalities of stocks. And then we just try to position ourselves in a long-term portfolio, and then, dick around here with the day trading stuff. So, but, there's been great days in the stock market, day trading also. So I'm not poo-pooing that at all, because I've walked away with a couple $1,000s in a day in the stock market. And there's no better feeling to just go out and have lunch with your wife, with your friends, with your kids. And you just be like, man, I just made $4,000 today. Like that is a feeling we constantly chase as traders. And it is like that. Sometimes it's like that first high. Have you ever gotten high? Like that first high, man, stoners are trying to chase that same high, man, that they're trying to chase that first high that they first had. And it's hard to get there again, So this is why we get addicted to trading. Most held stock buys by hedge funds: Amazon, Visa, Microsoft, Meta, and Google. Interesting. Probably all owned by BlackRock, huh? All right, so quick recap here. So we're watching SPY react to the market pre-market low, previous day low, and see what it's reacting there. It seems to have gotten a little bit of a bounce. We're now testing the 5-day EMA line, which is this green line here. I made it a little bit fatter than the other lines because that's usually the line that I go by. And it's trying to trick us, right? It's trying to say, hey, we're about to go long here. You better get out of your short, right? It might be saying that. But I want a full body candle above the EMA line for it to change my bias right now. We saw the same price action all on the downtrend here. So we're gonna see what happens. We're gonna see what happens. We'll stay patient here. Preach patience. Meanwhile, look at Tesla, man. Tesla, it is on fire, man. And if you haven't, oh, excuse me, man, I'm fighting a cold. If you guys have not checked out my my videos, I have 2 videos on my TradeCaster library, and we talk about the weekly, what you see here, the expected range. So if you're curious to know about that, jump onto my video library there, and you'll see what I'm talking about. I did one last week. That was my first time that I did it, last Sunday, where we charted these expected moves using option flow. We charted the expected range for the week on SPY or on various stocks. Like I think last night we did. I got rid of my notes. We did various. We did about 5 or 6 stocks. But anyway, go to the TradeCaster library, find it. You'll see what I'm talking about, the expected range and how we find that, how we set it up every Sunday night going into the trading week, and how we utilize it. And we also back test, right? So we are able to go and see, hey, this was the range last week. What did this stock do? And you start to develop a little bit of an idea like, oh, wow, this was way out of the range, or it stayed in the range, or it only was at the bottom of the range, whatever it is that you're going to see. But I think doing that every week as you enter the trading week, especially if you have a nice basket of stocks that you like to trade, is going to really help you develop levels. And I think that is the primary thing that I've gotten from learning this strategy from Raider traders who taught us this strategy, and it is to set the expected range of the stock. So you can see here that Tesla, right from the gate, it's already hitting the top of that range. So it helps you kind of think, is it going to start heading towards the bottom of the range? I don't know. In previous weeks, it stayed at the top of the range. In previous weeks, it just stayed at the bottom of the range. So if you build that if you build that idea in your head that, oh, it's at the bottom of the range, that means it must have to go up. Not necessarily. So by going back to the previous week and going over that video together, which you can do right now on TradeCaster, last week versus this week, excuse me, guys, versus this week, you'll see what I'm talking about. So if you want to learn that strategy, check it out. It's on TradeCaster and in my video library. And then, I hope it helps you, and then also please try to subscribe to our show here on TradeCaster, and then come visit us 3 times a week, hang out with us, and we'll do this kind of analysis and jump in and out of trades, listen to some jams, and go from there. On that note, real quick, here it's 8:42. I'm gonna be off air in a little bit. Let me take a moment to say that Jesus, guys, I'm so sorry. So let me share this with you guys. So if you go to Instagram at Shimano Trader, that is my handle. I am giving away this book. It's called The Best Loser Wins by Tom Hogart. I always get that weird. Anyway, this book is about the psychology of a trader, and it helps us deal with some of the things that happen in our brains, how we're not wired to be traders, right? We are wired. Our mind and our ego messes with the way we trade, and it reveals to you as a trader that you're not wired to be a trader. When you're losing money, you are hopeful. You're like, oh, this stock's gonna come back. Let me let it come back. And then when you're making money, you're like, oh, I'm scared. I don't want to lose this profit. I need to get out of this trade, right? And then you cut short your winners, and then you let your losers run, which is, I'm sure, something you guys have all heard that terminology before. Well, this book addresses that, and it helps you deal with that, and it teaches you how to trust your gut and to not be fearful in the market, and a bunch of other stuff. But it's an easy read. It's a cool read. It's not like, a heavy read with a lot of words and analytical stuff. It's a very easy read, simple read. And I want to give it to you. So the way you do that is you go on Instagram, you go to my Shimano Trader handle, and then just follow the rules to be entered into a live drawing. So we're going to be doing a live drawing March 15 on air. I don't care if I have like 1 person or 2 people. I'm going to do the giveaway anyway. So your chances of winning are high right now because not a single person has done it. And I've been preaching about this for a week now. So If you want to join, but when be part of this raffle and increase your odds by just being the first one, do so. If not, no big deal, guys. It's all good. I'm gonna be here trading no matter what, and I'm gonna stream 3 times a week no matter what. And hopefully, hopefully it all works out. All right, so that's my little soapbox for you guys. All right, so SPY has found a level of support here. Excuse me, found a level of support, but yet it has yet to breach the 5-day EMA line. So we're gonna keep our position here for right now. Those are some of the rules that I use. And speaking about that book, it teaches you to respect those rules, right? Like, hey, if be a good loser. Meaning, if you're in a losing trade and you're losing, and you just get out. That's why the best loser wins, because usually the loser wants to stay there on that trade. Okay, let me put this back to our chart on Tesla. Tesla upper part of the range. This is my average on Tesla, 204.33. As that stock was getting beat up on the way down, I've already did this today, but just to show you guys again, right? So since I think July of last year, this stock has been on a downward trend, right? It's just as the market was hitting all-time highs, as the market was hitting new all-time highs and just pumping, Tesla wasn't. So stocks like that and Adobe, I think it's another one where they've just been destroyed while the market is strong. So now I think that traders are coming back to these beat up stocks and they're trying to take long positions in them, which is probably a good move, especially on a stock like Tesla. So that's where I'm at. I'm almost at my dollar cost. I've actually built a nice amount of shares on Tesla. Being as expensive as it is, I've been able to do that on the way down. So once we hit this 204 and hit beyond it, we'll be printing some money. And that's what I'm talking about when I talk about that the money is in the long, right? In the patience of a trader, being patient, but trying to make 10 grand in one day. That's what gets us burnt, man. It's just the truth. It's happened to me. I'm not talking to you because I think that's the way it is. That's how I've lost a lot of money doing zero DTEs. Like, that's just stupid, right? Like, you think you're going to make 10 grand in one day. And, I know you guys, if you've been trading long enough, you've been here watching the market go up, go up, go up. And then 10 minutes before the market closes, it dumps, right? So you just can't get attached to your stocks and to your trades. Jesus Christ, what are we listening to? Oh man, I think it ran out already. The music ran out. It was only 2 hours. Anyway, so yeah, so like I'm just trying to show you guys what I know, and I don't know what my viewers level of experience is. I had a poll out earlier, and it ranges from like being a newbie to being a pro, or knowing just enough to get in trouble, right? So I'm hoping that together we can learn, because this is teaching me something too, because when I'm out here doing what I'm doing, I go back and look at this video or parts of the video, and I can see where I'm not paying attention, where I was being emotional, where I was having a bias. So this is helping me as much as I hope it will help you. So anyway, that was my soapbox for the day. Okay, so continuing to watch the SPY here. Again, it's now breached the 5-day EMA line, but it hasn't opened a candle above it. This is a new candle. The next candle won't open up until 9 a.m. So we're just going to continue to monitor this. Nice bounce off of it. I think if you guys saw Sean's post, he feels that it's downtrending right now. SPY is. I don't think it'll get down to 505. We would have to flush again, but we'll see. So we're gonna keep that. We're gonna keep that put open. It's a $15 trade. It is currently down. Let me see. It's currently down $6.50 off of this little move here. All right. So we're gonna continue to watch it. Stay tuned. I'll probably have an update for you guys on that on Wednesday. ARK looks pretty good, guys. ARK, the ARKK, it looks good on the. It made a nice bottom. That's Kathy Wood's stock, but it's pretty heavy in technology, and just like just like Elon Musk, you know, these people, they're political investors, and then they tank stocks because they may feel a certain way about you. That's what I think what's happening to Elon Musk with Tesla. But ARK looks really strong. You guys should check that out. Maybe see it on a chart, see what you guys think. Or you know what? I got a few minutes here. Let me see if I can do it. Only thing I don't like about OBS is I gotta change this. I gotta go to OBS to change the screen that I'm sharing. I wish I just had like a window I can drop. I can drop in the window. All right, let me see. Oh no. All right, let me see if I can find it here. ARK. All right, there's your ARK one. So I usually have a couple of charts up. So here's ARK, right? We did the expected range. What I was talking to you guys about being in. I told you guys about the Tradecaster library. So we did the same thing for ARK, right? So here's the ARK expected anticipated move, or the range. I don't know why I labeled it that. It usually says expected range. But there's your expected range for ARK this week. This is all butchered here, guys. And what it says expected range. Can I spell? All right, there it is. All right. Sorry guys, man. I'm just anal like that. You know, like it's gotta look right. It's gotta look right. All right, there it is. All right, so that's your expected move for ARK this week, right? So already opened up at the bottom of the range, and this is the top of the range. But looking at the stock, right? Look at this move, right? It peaked out here, it dumped here, up again. So to me, the stock looks like it's strong. I have a, what is it? I think I have a April call on this. Yeah. So we have a April 19th call at $70 for ARK. We got in on that during the earnings call, I think it was. But anyway, so just to give you an idea, I like ARK. I like how ARK looks. Oh, here's Sean said something. Okay, let me get back to my main chart here, guys. It's so clunky sometimes. Okay, all right, we're back on the main chart. Oh, we're seeing upward trend. That's what he's talking about, huh? All right, there you go. So moment of truth here, right? So you see this downward trend. Here's your downward trend. It's been respecting that downward trend all the way, and it's been respecting the EMA line all the way down. So what happens here? All right, this candle is an ugly reversal candle, right? I think this is called a doji or a dragonfly, something like that. But this is a reversal candle. So we're gonna see if it confirms or if it's gonna get invalidated. And remember, this was the if you look left, all right, I always like to say look left. If you look left, you can see that it's been holding this as support all the way through the pre-market area, right? Hit pre-market high, started getting reversed, right? Breached the support here, right? And it came back up trying to test it. Now it's testing it, but it's at a very, very interesting. It's at a very interesting crossroads, right? Like, no pun intended here. Like, what's it gonna do here? I mean, this can just change the trend altogether. Watching Apple also recover. See, the Apple recovered, so now we're down on that contract. Probably not by a lot, but remember, they're Friday contracts, so the premiums are not going to move that much right now. But yeah, but that's not in the money, so that has a drawdown right now. All right, so now we're gonna watch SPY. Let me see what it does at this level. We got a couple more minutes before I get off air. We're gonna just watch what it does at this level here, right? So this was going to be very telling. Are we reversing, or are we going to just continue to the downside? But it, just like there's dips, there's pops and dips in an uptrend. It's same thing on a downtrend, right? So you're seeing a little pop, drop, right? So it's kind of happening here. So we're gonna watch it together here and see what it does. If it does breach this, it will do it with volume and it will do it with force. So that's what I think. We can see a major candle to the upside here as it breaks this level here, or it'll just gonna get rejected and continue to the lower to the downside. Guys, this jams. Oh, I hope I don't get blocked, dude. Sometimes I get blocked. Yeah, it's probably better. All right, so we're gonna watch this here, see how it reacts. So we're watching here. Also watching Apple, right? And this is how we get shaken out of positions, guys. Especially in option trading, we get shaken out of positions because it feels like it's gonna go the other way now. and we start seeing our premium, we start seeing our P&L get impacted, and it makes us want to get out, or change our bias, right? But nothing here goes in a straight line, so you have that's why patience is such a underutilized skill of a trader. All right, I was about to say, I'm trying to stick to like half hours, like 8:30, 9 o'clock, and not trying to say the time at 8:54. Oh, I'm glad I muted that one. Okay, so now you've seen Apple. If you guys have been watching here my commentary, look at this level here. Let me see if I can look at this level, right? So you see where Apple bounced. Look left, right? What do you see, right? You see support, right? So again, if you're a trader and you're placing a trade, why would you take a put position now, right? If you see this support and see that bounce, if anything, you can, once it breaches the support, that's where I would take a position, maybe with a stop kind of below it a little bit, maybe to this next support level here. But I've been blown away watching traders here on Tradecaster and in other places identify levels to the dollar. Like Grizzly Trader said that the bottom of the SPY on Friday was, well, he said it like a couple of days before Friday. We were analyzing the SPY, or he was analyzing the SPY on a video on Instagram. Oh man. And then he tells me, and then he says, hey, you know what? He goes, I wouldn't touch the SPY until it gets to this level. Like, I'm not going to touch the SPY until it gets to 494. Like, that's what he said, right? He said, I'm not going to touch the SPY until it gets to 494. Well, here's Friday. Where are we? No, where was it? Was it that day? Man, there was a day that he called it and I was so blown away. Oh, here it is. Look, there it is, right? So this was, what was this? So tell me what day this was. On February 26th, right? So he says, I won't, days before the SPY even got there, he was like, hey, I will not touching the SPY until it reaches 494. And look at this, man. It hit 493. And since there, look at it. It's just nothing but up, right? Until today. Oh, here it is, guys. Moment of truth. But anyway, man, so that to me, like, it's not like the guy has special powers or anything, right? Grizzly Trader is a very cool cat. He trades with Team Bull. And I just was so impressed by that. And I've seen other traders do the same thing, just call out levels, right? But imagine that level of maturity to say, I'm not touching the SPY until it reaches this level. Like, could you do that? Like, that's the question, right? Like, that's the type of discipline that we all need, is saying. And guess what? Let's say he went deep in the money. I mean, he went deep, balls deep in calls when he hit that 494 level. That's how you make $10,000 in a day, right? But not until, and I think that's the key, right? Not until it hit his level, right? He didn't force his level. He say, oh, you know what? I think this is where I'm gonna go against it here. I'm gonna call the top. I'm gonna call the bottom. He had a level, and he executed on that level. So that's the kind of I think that's the kind of trader I aspire to be, and that's the kind of trader that I want to be, is be able to have that level of discipline where I can say, I'm not touching Apple until it reaches this level. I'm not touching SPY until it reaches. That would be ideal. All right, guys. Well, that didn't work as I thought it was. It should usually start slower. There it is. Oh, there's the change in bias by Sean, right? Sean's thinking that we won't see a break on SPY, that we might start seeing as a support now. We shall see, right? We're kind of in the same position here, right? We still don't have a full body above the 5-day EMA line. We've got 2 more minutes to go. We've got the downward trend happening. Where are you going to place your trade, trader? What do you do? Don't you love those charts on Twitter sometimes? Long or short? Well, you have a choice here. Are you long or short? Put it in the chat. Don't be scared. I won't hold you accountable. Would you go long or short here, right at this crossroads? Other than that, traders, well, as always, it's a pleasure of mine to spend 3 hours with you guys in the morning. I am Shimano Trader. Follow me on Instagram at Shimano Trader. Don't forget, we got a giveaway going. Please participate in that giveaway. And subscribe to the show. Also subscribe to the YouTube channel. You can do it right here from Tradecaster, or the little logo on the bottom. You could just hit subscribe if you want to follow me there. I post the lessons on there too, and I broadcast free on Fridays, I think. And sometimes I don't even know I'm broadcasting on YouTube. I got to make sure. I got to be better about that. But anyway, hope you have a great Monday. Hope you have a great week. I will be back here again on Wednesday, and 6 a.m. We'll do some pre-market prep. We'll do some back testing, some commentary, and we'll kind of go from there. Other than that, guys, have a great rest of your Monday. Go out there and crush it. Be safe, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.